In today's episode of Truly Bedrock, we're going to be designing a brand new raid farm for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Version 7 is something that you guys have been requesting for quite a long time. You're going to get to see some of the design process of what goes into these farms, the challenges, the complications, and then we're going to build it on the server and see how it works. We're taking a little bit of a break from our mega mob farming area today because we want to build a raid farm, and it's kind of impossible to build a raid farm in the middle of the ocean. So we happen to have ourselves a nice pillager outpost claimed here on the Truly Bedrock server. This one actually happens to have 4 spawn spots, meaning that it gives us like 4 times the pillager rates that normal pillager outposts would. So anyway, this thing is going to give us a lot of bad omen. Enough bad omen for like a super OP raid farm, but I don't want to start off building like, you know, a 24 stacked raid farm. That's just like a lot. So we're going to start off with a little bit of a smaller raid farm that hopefully you guys at home can build as well. I thought I spawn-proofed this area, but apparently not. Hey, I'm just here to see the sights, okay? We don't need to have any issues. I'm not looking for any trouble, alright? Just kidding, I sort of am looking for a little bit of trouble. So this is my V6 raid farm, and you might be wondering, why do I have 6 different raid farms? Well, you see, there's one simple answer to that question, and the answer is Mojang keeps breaking my raid farms, I swear. Tiny little things over many updates accumulate, and then stuff just breaks, and it's really silly. So yeah, I've made 6 of these stupid things. Anyway, as you can see, this is like really simple. We got the raiders. They spawn up here. Ravagers die in lava, so you don't get any stupid saddles. Everything else goes down here to a trident killer. You pick up your experience. Items go down there to storage system, and that's it. We got a pillager outpost for bad omen. So the main goal is to simplify this and make it smaller, cheaper, easier to build, and take less time to build. I want to make this the most resource efficient raid farm that there is. That way you can just build it, be happy with it, and if it breaks, it took you like 15 minutes to build, so it's not really that big of a deal, right? Simpler farms are also less likely to break, so there's that. So where do we even start with designing a new raid farm? Well, I think the first thing we should do is just like destroy just all of this. Yeah, we don't need any of this. It's all garbage. We're throwing it all away. It's useless. Get out of here. We don't need any of you. Next up, we're going to remove all the spawn proofing around the pillager outpost. So basically, I don't want to make it so that you have to spam the area with leaves because that takes a while. And we want to make it so that all the raids just spawn up inside of the raid farm instead of even having a chance to spawn on the ground. The trident killer for the pillagers is also really important. And this trapdoor trident killer, while very quick, is prone to breaking like a lot. So we're gonna tear this out, kill all these guys, and just replace it with like the standard 2x2 trident killer that is incredibly reliable. And there we go, reliable trident killer has been installed, so now there shouldn't be any issues on that front. All the pillagers will spawn in and then fall down, and then if you have multiple spawn spots, you just build multiple trident killers. Really easy. So the concept for this raid farm is going to be pretty similar to the kill chamber for the 24 stacked raid farm. Basically, I want to have all the raiders spawn right here in front of the player so that the player can actually see them, and hopefully we don't have any problems with vexes and stuff like that, but we'll see as we get into it. Basically, reproduce that style of kill chamber and get all the items directly out of it to send them straight down, and then the experience will just go right over to the player. So it should be a much smaller farm. You should be able to actually see the raiders dying. That way you can see if anything gets stuck. You're not like questioning what's happening in the mysterious build that is above you. So I've done a little bit of work on this, and it's incredibly basic, but that is the idea. So all of our raids are going to be spawning inside of here. We have some lower slabs due to a recent change with Ravagers. It's kind of a whole big deal. Anyway, raids spawn on anything besides leaves and scaffolding, so that's why we're using leaves to spawn proof at the upper edges. So all of our guys are going to spawn in here. Our Vindicators, Evokers, Witches, Pillagers, Ravagers, they're all going to spawn up in this area. And then we got ourselves a double trident killer, which could be extended to a 4 times trident killer if you felt like killing them even faster, but it shouldn't really matter. Now, as you can see, we need a little bit of a roof in this area to keep those Ravagers down and to keep them from bouncing up and damaging all these leaves. So there is a bit of a problem. As you can see, XP orbs actually float on water and they nudge entities around, so they're actually preventing the other mobs from hitting the trident killer. So we need to find a way to get the experience out and the items out without letting the mobs out, which is always a fun thing. Okay, so far this seems to be working just fine. We'll have to wait and see how the Ravager does. It's a little bit slow, I guess, but it's not too bad. Also, this guy back here is a little bit of a problem. Hi! Are you gonna figure yourself out? This is such a weird thing. Bedrock Edition be like this. I'm not seeing any real problems. There shouldn't be any real problems to have with this, besides the fact that Bedrock Edition likes to throw weird issues at you. Somehow, even with the larger spawn platform, we're still getting some some pillagers down here on the floor, which is not good. They're outside the range that they should be able to spawn anyway. So unfortunately, yeah, we do need a platform of leaves down here because sadness, that's why. Of all the RTX bugs I've ever seen, this one's actually pretty cool. I don't know what causes this of all things, or how there is still new bugs for me to find with ray tracing. But alas, we have turned the world into a maze. It's amazing. Yeah, this is pretty crazy, actually. I really like this. So it's highlighting all the gaps between blocks. So this is also combined with the shiny bug where everything is reflective and the light emitting bug where everything is emitting light. So it's been a couple hours of designing. We've ran into several issues with ravagers and pillagers and stuff, mostly just getting stuck on the ceilings, which is a whole ordeal. So instead of all that, let's just confirm if this idea even works by seeing if the evokers in there end up getting very big mad with us and summoning Vexes. That seems like an important first step, and we're doing it at like step 15 to 30? Let's see what happens. Yeah, see, they pull up their arms to start doing magic, which is not a good sign. So there's probably a slight possibility that they could summon a Vex or some Fangs. So we gotta kill them really fast. Luckily, this is a 2-hit kill. That's why using Impaling 5 is very important for your Trident killers. Overall, it seems like this concept should work fine though. So after about 3 or 4 hours of designing this raid farm, I got it to a pretty good place that I'm happy with. So the inside of this has been turned into a double length one with a mega lava blade, and this is because Ravagers have a new bug where they fight water streams. They don't actually get pushed by the water. They kind of float like right above it, but eventually they will make their way into this lava blade. Without the lava blade there, they'll basically never die. However, this does mean that if you have a Ravager with a Rider, occasionally the Rider will die in that lava, but that's not too big of a deal. You lose like 1 out of 50 of your pillagers. The Trident killer at the front has been refined to be only a single Trident. This is actually better than the double Tridents because before the mobs were removing the Tridents and they were migrating over to the right side, but now the Trident stays centered in the center with, you know, 2 pistons. We also figured out the best place to put the bed. It is basically right above the center of the spawning platform, and it's the highest amount of blocks above the player that it can be. We did this for 2 reasons. If the village is too far over to the side, then raiders won't spawn in the back side of the platform, and if it's not high enough above the ground, then you're more likely to get raiders on the ground. I still need to test if we actually need those leaves down there or not. And then we also swapped out the lower Trident killer for a much simpler and a more reliable one, like the one from the 24 stacked raid farm. Also, mind the command blocks. It's for testing. It's a creative world. I'm just too lazy to run commands manually, so that's why they're there. So now we just need to build this on the truly Bedrock server, test it out in survival mode, and more importantly, get ourselves a villager. Right, so if we need to get a villager for the raid farm, this is actually the closest village. The raid pillager tower is a couple hundred blocks that way. Right, so now we just need to get this dude hundreds of blocks over to the pillager tower. And already we're running into issues where he just will not go over this one pixel. Why can I not boat over this 1 pixel? Yeah, so there's the pillager tower, like right there, and the village is like 100 blocks behind us. So it's actually a pretty short little boat ride. This guy's basically a pirate villager. Yeah, he's got the eye patch and everything. He says, get him to change his dialect just a little bit. He'll say, "R." Welcome to your new beautiful home, villager. Don't you love it? Yay, it's so nice. Okay, Captain, we're gonna go ahead and take you all the way up to the top of this place now. So just come on and follow me right on up this scaffolding. This scaffolding's not nearly tall enough. Could I just fly him over there? Oh my god, hi. I guess you're right here now. I could boat him over there. This is horrible ideas. All of this is a bad idea. We could probably make that jump. I think that's a reasonable jump. I'm not gonna risk it though. You know how long it took to get Captain Error? Okay, let's see. Little bit of pillage. Oh my god, that really flew. Don't take fall damage, please. He took fall damage. The one thing I told you not to do. This is why I don't trust anything having to do with villagers. Okay, he actually landed. Okay. You know what? I should maybe give him a little bit more credit for that. That was pretty impressive. Not gonna lie, he's kind of an acrobat. I forgot that I had the bad omen effect. I think I'll just break that bed. Is the raid actually gonna spawn? I mean, I guess I'm fine with a raid spawning. The farm's technically done. I built the farm, by the way. It's all done. It's ready to go. Okay, so sometimes when you get the villager out of a boat, it dies from fall damage because it was on a lead and stuff. So I'm glad that that didn't happen this time. Thank you, villager, for just like cooperating. I think that's just about everything to do with the raid farm. I mean, it really didn't take that long to build, except that I'm kind of a derp and we built it wrong, like maybe twice or 3 times. But it's a pretty simple build. Now we just need to get some bad omen and see if it actually works. Slight change of plan. We can't get the bad omen right now because we don't have impaling 5 on any of the tridents. If we don't kill the evokers with impaling 5, they're almost certainly going to have enough time to actually summon vexes. Luckily, this guy right here sells impaling 4, so if we just buy like a bunch of these, then we'll have enough to put on all of our tridents. So now we got all of our impaling 5 books and some impaling 5 tridents as well. That should be more than enough for the raid farm, and hopefully this prevents us from getting any annoying vexes spawning. If we get vexes while we're AFK, then we're probably just gonna die. So I think we are ready to go now. We just gotta flick this lever. That'll turn on all 4 of the trident killers. And these are really simple trident killers, by the way. We just have the spawn spot, some water that pushes them to this corner, and then a piston pushing on an impaling 5 trident times 4. So that's as simple as that. If we move up to the top here, we should get bad omen eventually. Well, it's been 30 minutes, so nothing's spawning. I guess I'll come back later when somebody isn't online, taking up the mob cap. So it's a couple hours later now. I don't know why nothing was spawning before, but as you can see, now we have pillagers in all of the trident killers. So if we turn this on, we might be lucky and get some bad omen. We finally got some bad omen, and we should see raiders, finally, after all these years. And as you can see, the raid farm doesn't actually work. We can pick up all the experience through this little wall right here, so we can use this to mend our tools or whatever, and then all the items will actually go right over to here. Now, I haven't set up any storage yet, but it should be as simple as, let's see, popping out that block. And then, yeah, everything just falls down. I don't even need an auto-dropper system. That's way too convenient. All the experience will be, you know, delivered directly to us, so we don't even need to worry about separating it out. And now we got our first Ravager in there, so we'll see what happens. He goes up into the lava. That's exactly what we need to see. This is precisely working how it should. That guy's taking a little bit too much damage from the lava, but I guess that's fine. He just dies to the trident easier that way. And now for the real test. We got our first evoker in here, meaning we're about to get ourselves some totems and hopefully no vexes. That's like the big holdup with this farm, is we have probably a higher likelihood of getting vexes. The other big inefficiency is that the Ravagers die in lava, which does kind of hurt the rates because it slows down the rate at which your raids are dying. So that's not really ideal. I would have preferred to get them in the trident killer, but maybe I'll figure out a way to make that happen before the tutorial goes out. The last wave is here, and these guys aren't summoning nothing, so everything just seems to be working out exactly how it should. This is great. So the raid farm is actually fully functional, as you can see, and it is so much cheaper than all the other raid farms I've put on the channel so far. There's still a couple little things that I want to tweak with this, but otherwise, let me know when you want to see the tutorial for this down in the comments. And now we got ourselves some Hero of the Village, so we can go use that at the trading hall and get even cheaper trades for more experience and all that good stuff. I'm gonna need to get myself a bunch of allays to sort out all these items, and then we'll start using the crossbows and the banners as furnace fuel, and then we'll start smelting down all the iron tools for bits of iron nuggets. So all the items from the raid farm are going to fall straight down this hole and basically land right here. So we need to set up ourselves a little bit of a storage system and allays and all that good stuff. But that is going to be a little bit of a future project. Now that we have this raid farm set up, we can start making some monies, and we can also start paying our debts that we owe, like, basically everybody on the Truly Bedrock server. So for some reason, I don't get any pillagers when I'm standing up at the top of the farm, but I do when I'm standing down over here, even though the top of the farm is definitely within range for them to spawn. So I don't understand that. I don't know if the mob cap really was full before, but Yeah, they just don't spawn if I'm standing up here. I'm definitely within range, though. I should only be like 42 blocks above them, which should be perfectly fine for them to be able to spawn. I tried it out with the like spawning spheres texture pack and all that, but worst case, we could just raise up those trident killers a couple blocks and that should solve it. We will fix it, but for some reason, they just don't spawn if I'm standing right here, which they totally should. At least like these two spawning spots on the right, those should definitely spawn because they're like directly underneath me, you know? Oh, hi. Somehow you spawned up there. I don't know if that's not good. That should not happen. Okay, one of the Ravagers broke some of the leaves. That is the problem, actually. If I just put a solid roof of leaves all above this thing, that should actually solve it. And somehow these guys spawned inside of here? That should not be possible, right? That's not possible. I know that that's not possible. Stop it. Okay, I guess they probably spawned inside of the Trident Killer itself, because there wasn't a leaf right there. That would do it, I guess. So after a couple of raids, we do have ourselves quite a few totems. I need to get 4 shulker boxes of these just to pay back Liara. We also have some decent enchantment books and a lot of emeralds. So this thing is definitely working, but we just need to do a couple of tweaks to it. And now it's time that we go make ourselves some money and spend some money. Tis Tom, would you like to buy something?
It depends.
I have 2 entire shulker boxes of ink here for you.
I'd be needing ink, actually. That's glow sacks?
I saw in the Discord that you needed ink.
Not that kind of ink.
Okay, well, would you prefer this kind of ink?
I would prefer that kind of ink. What is the price here?
Diamond a stack.
A diamond a stack?
Yep.
That sounds good.
Oh, okay.
I'll take it.
I expected some pushback on that.
No, that's fine. I need candles.
Oh, it's for the Nether Hub.
Yeah.
Oh, you need
basically.
like a bajillion candles for that. What is this? I have to ask.
It's my potion shop. Do you like it?
I
It's my
do.
pro wizard shop. Look, I'm holding a wand with my foot. Right there.
Oh, those are
See
wands.
any wizards doing that?
Yeah, no, that's quite impressive. In between the toes. Wow. Yeah, you're puking everywhere.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, is that normal?
Comes with a job. I am missing some things. Though.
You're missing slow falling. Oh, I happen to have a giant phantom farm for you.
You have like everything.
I do have everything that you need.
All of the things.
Anything
right
you
now?
need, I can get you.
Oh, really?
You know what? I actually got a
sick.
sample as well. Here you go. Premium merchandise
Ooh,
right there.
4 membranes.
Yep, that'll be 4 diamonds. No backsies.
Is there more where this came from then? I'm assuming.
Yeah,
what is the...
there's lots more. Do you want like a whole shulker or something?
Yeah, shulker would last me like all season, honestly.
Probably. How much slow? You know what? Yeah, a whole shulker. Okay, I'll get you that. Sounds good. Everybody buys slow falling. Everybody. You'll need so much of it. Okay, I'll have that ready for you soon. Bye. Oh, this dude's in the ground. Why are you in the ground?
He's not for me.
He's in the ground for me. He literally just walked through the place.
Gonna make their way into the Nether at some point.
You just walked through this entire hill on my screen. you cursed horses.
I have many shulkers for you. I know you were asking for leaves earlier.
This is a lot of leaves. Oh no, they keep coming.
They keep coming. You
Oh no,
said a lot. You weren't very specific.
Yeah,
so
I did say a
maybe?
lot of leaves. So that's 8 shulker boxes of spruce leaves. I assume I owe you like my entire soul now, right? I don't know what this is worth. What are leaves worth?
I mean, it took me 2 hours to do most of it.
I brought 128 diamonds.
I mean, I could take all of that. I don't
know
mind.
about all of it, but I mean... Okay, well, here's many diamonds.
There's many diamonds. Thank you.
Many
5.
diamonds.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is going to be just a giant platform of leaves at the build limit.
Do you know who did this in front of my shops?
Yeah, it's a lovely squid, don't you think?
Right in front of my door.
What about that shop right in front of our door?
Oh, I don't know. That was a wandering trader come by.
Uh-huh, yeah,
no
sure.
idea who did
well,
this.
This is a little bit of a revenge or escalation for that then.
If you're gonna escalate, so will I. I guess this is on.
It doesn't even sell anything yet, so go easy on my poor little guy. So yep, we've built ourselves our first shop on the server, and this is the glow squid shop with the amazing buck teeth that apparently everybody wants to shop at because we got a lot of attention. Anyway, we are selling basically every single thing that we're farming here. So we got bone blocks, we got our ink and our ink sacks. We also got our books and emeralds and totems along with the tridents and nautilus shells and even more stock coming soon. This glow squid is going to be full to the gills. Do they have gills? They don't have gills. It's gonna be full to the tentacles with various different items to buy, so hopefully we can start paying back all of our debt. Now, you might have noticed we've been avoiding the base of this whole episode, and that's because if you listen... Yeah, there's some things up in the base that we kind of don't want to deal with right now, but in the next episode, we're gonna be dealing with that. At least Groovo's nice enough to leave us a little bit of this stuff. I mean, he only filled the base, oh, and the outside of the base with literal shulkers. Cheese. If you enjoyed today's video, drop a like, maybe subscribe, and I'll see you down in the next one.